What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We got Albert in the house. Good morning to you. We got Andy. Good morning. Cheryl, Chris, Corey D. We got EFF trader. Good morning to Georgia. Good morning to Jay, Jeff, Lauren, Marius, Martina. We got Shane. Good morning to all you guys. All you guys still piling in. We got Jeffrey in YouTube land. We got MS. We got M Sky. Mike, shoot me a message on Facebook, by the way, with any of the. I know you were looking for some investments and stuff, so shoot me the details because we have a community of traders and investors. So let me know. Levi, good morning to you. Clarice, good morning. We got my lurkers in that background. That's just not even commenting on YouTube. It's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. But yeah, we got a brand new month, ladies and gentlemen. Brand new month. And this is an opportunity. Every new month is an opportunity, whether you made money last month, lost money last month, you were sitting there in a bearish direction on mostly bull days, and you're like, man, everything is going wrong. It's okay. It's okay. Trading is a timing thing, investing is a timing thing, and it will click, but just don't carry it over. Even if you had a great month and you're just up a massive amount, don't let that carry into October. So start fresh. Only figure out the numbers at the end of the year, tally them up, and then yeah, go from there. But we have SPY. Let's take a look at the monthly candle since we have that opportunity. And we ran up toward the end of the day. I don't know. Let's before we even do that, let's go to the final closing 15, 20 minutes of the day where the market just took off starting somewhere around 2:30 in the afternoon. And then last final pump, which is all green candles. So I don't know if this was buying or just people covering their shorts to the end of the month. I'm not sure, but we just had a straight up rally. So the monthly candle looks pretty impressive for the SPY. Nothing too crazy. We did hear from Jerome Powell. He kind of moved the markets a little bit yesterday, which I was a little surprised on, but nothing too wild. But now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months in a row, all green candles. Interesting thing about those candles, though, like usually you want not that you want to see a red candle in there, especially if you're bullish, but you want to see some kind of a pullback. And then we have this big wick. That was a big pullback. Even though we didn't get the close, we ended pretty strong. We had another decent wick this month that came in. This one is still, I think, significant and can carry us a little bit higher, I think. So for right now, it looks like we are going higher. It doesn't seem like we're really in panic mode yet. Crazy thing is, once we get through this month, you got 5 days till election. So we'll get all that behind us. We'll see who is the next president, and then the markets will kind of reassess and go from there. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks, I think, that we do have coming up. SPY is gapping down slightly for today. Nothing too crazy. Again, we're down 20 cents on the day, roughly. How much did we go up toward the very end of the day yesterday? So giving 20 cents of that back is, I don't think, that crazy. Pretty decent start to the month where we have support 572.39. We have another support somewhere around 572. We got another support 571.24. So decent amount of supports. Even if we get some kind of a pullback, we've built in over the last few days some levels of support, which is good. The high is this is the only thing I really got to go off of for the highs, but the opening price of 3 trading days ago, which is that Thursday, the 26th. That's going to be my target to the high side for now, as resistance, I guess. 574.34, and then the high of that candle somewhere around 574.70, or more accurately 574.71. So we start getting through that, we can start rampaging higher, but we have built in over the last couple days some support, so we are still looking good, I think, in a bullish direction. Unless we get some black swan. We do have jolts coming out at 10 a.m. today, so jobs numbers, that might move the market a little bit, but I believe that comes out at just under an hour from now, so we'll see. We got the Qs. Qs are just chilling still at the high of yesterday. Actually, we have a little gap up on this one, so gapping up 13 cents. Maybe tech is a little bit stronger. Next resistance on this one, I'm looking at 489.66, and then I think we have to look at the opening price of that candle. 493.38 would be the next mini resistance until we could push up till 495.92. So still looks decent on the Qs. I do have some stocks that I just kind of pulled up, looked kind of interesting, but if you guys got tickers, let me know. I do see coin. Uh, Brian says had a CEO and 6 directors pile in on Friday. I'm not sure what that means. Pile into where? Like a clown car? And then they're like beep beep, and they just pull up somewhere. I'd watch a CEO and 6 directors driving in a clown car. Could entertain me at least for 4.5 minutes. Coinbase, Coinbase is well, yeah, that was one of the ones on my list. I do think this one looks interesting. I'm not sure if we really hit the spot on fibs that I would like. So that would be a strike against it, I think, but we'll see. Yeah, actually, no, we did. So that's the 50% retracement we got to yesterday. We did get a little bounce. What I did like and what I was looking at is the fact that we came back down. We did retest. Obviously, we had this bullish breakout. We had this little pullback. And then 178, 178.60, 178.70, somewhere in that zone should be the retest. We did hold. We got yesterday's VPOC higher than that. And then today looks like we are opening slightly above it. I've got decent range on it. So the first spot would be 180, 156. We're not going to make too much, but we do have decent risk reward. Even throwing stops under yesterday. I don't know if we have to go that much, but we throw stops underneath yesterday's candle. We want these levels to hold here for support. And then hopefully we can break through that. If we can, we have volume zones a little bit higher than the 200. But other than that, I'd be looking for like 187.69, 187.70, somewhere in that zone would be targets if we get through that first one. So you kind of want to bank on that one for better risk reward, but I think you could probably set a trade up to get a 1.2 into that. But depends on where we open. Right now, it looks like we just dipped underneath. That might mean maybe not to not trade it, but give it a couple minutes. So it just depends on where this one opens. I want to see some kind of push, or if I could get in anywhere above, we'll call it 189. So if we could get like 189, 179 or higher, I'd be interested, but depends on where that opens. Interesting spot though. Roku. So this one I did not have on my list. It is a gap and go. We've obviously made some kind of a bullish stance. I think they've been getting some upgrades coming in recently, which is good. I got a wide open gap all the way up to $89.66. I think we looked at this one maybe in the swing room at one point. Not sure. For today's action, though, I do have resistance kind of close. 77.26, and then I got 77.53. So that's not going to get me too far if we stall out there, if we can't break through those. We still have some of those moving averages a little bit far away. Nothing really too crazy impressive with the volume, except for that candle, which if that was your breakout, that's your pullback, that's your retest. You got a little bear trap on this one. You got a pretty good gap and go today. So I would like to play it bullish. I'd be a little concerned with those two resistance, but beginning of the month, markets you get all the retirement 401k contributions. Maybe some of it goes to Roku. I don't know. But yeah, I'd like to stay bullish on it. I just don't know if we could get through that. That would be my only kind of hiccup on that trade. How much runway we have. All right. SMMT. Yeah, we did look at this one on, I believe it was Thursday. I think it was Thursday for the room. I'm not familiar with Summit Therapeutics whatsoever, so I have no idea what they do. But just going off the chart, this is kind of how I was looking to maybe play it. You might be able to get a better setup if you come down with this hammer, put your stops a little bit lower. You almost got into that retest spot of $19.24. So not quite there, but this is when we looked at it a couple days ago and never triggered us in. So we're still, and I don't have this order set up, but the biggest problem with this one is it's already run so much, but that breakout is a really good gap. That's a nice little pullback. That's probably taking you to the 50, if not 618. That's probably the 618 retracement of that gap. So I do think it's interesting to look at. I just don't have a trade set up on it. That's how I was looking to play it, and I think you can make a decent risk reward with something like that. With that hammer now, you probably have to change this whole thing a little bit. Maybe come down to like 23.90 is your entry. Stop somewhere around 19.24, somewhere in that zone if you like it. MU. This one we did play. We played it bearish yesterday. Worked out well. I think Yates scared me away from trying to go for more on this one, but nice bounce off that 200 EMA yesterday. I believe he was also looking for a bounce somewhere in the 106 to 103 range. We got pretty much right to the slightly under, I guess, 103, but that took me to my 200 EMA. So good bounce on this one. Honestly, I wouldn't mind playing this one bullish too. Targets on this one might be depends. I think this one's going to depend on probably the rest of the market. But my first possible resistance, I don't know how strong it's going to be, but my first resistance on this one is 104.46. If we get cooperation from the market, I think we could break out, and then I think we're looking for probably this 106 and change, 106.11 as some kind of target. I think would be a good one. That would also line up over there as well. So yeah, we might be able to play this one inverse of what we did yesterday, which is fantastic. And then you do have that 100 coming in. So be aware of that 100, 105.32. I might if I take this one, I'll probably hang in just because of two levels of resistance. I might try to go for a 1.2 if we do try this one bullish, but I like that bounce a lot after really strong gap. Might be an opportunity, even for a swing trade if you're looking to get in. Swing trade, I'd probably have my stops essentially anywhere under 102.14. I'd be trying to get in as close as possible to here. Doesn't say we're reversing quite yet, but that would be good risk to reward if you could get it, and it does start to bounce a little bit. Let's see what else we have. SMMT makes antibiotics. I took a call of SMMT. Yep. Yeah, I think it looks decent. I think it looks decent. Antibiotics, that seems to be good. I think we're getting into flu season. Some of the China names I'm starting to look at again after yesterday's move. Again, big rally. We're still up just absolutely massive if you have any of the China positions. The only thing is Golden Week, which is apparently some kind of holiday. I don't know what it is. Everybody gets gold bars, I guess, under a tree. I'm not quite sure. But so I believe the markets, I believe one of them, I think Hong Kong is maybe closed for a day, and then the other one doesn't really open till the 7th. So there might be some just lower interest, lower volume, give us a week of just chopping around. Other than that, this was a retest gap. We retested perfectly. We closed the VPOC still higher than the day before. So even though if you were in this one, you're like real excited at open, you're like, oh yeah, we're making money. And then by the end of the day, you went negative on that position for the day. You're like, huh. But could we get a bigger retest? Yeah, we could. I mean, we still have gaps down here to 94.26 on Baidu. Otherwise, I did still like that VPOC close. This one's gonna probably fit in the same category as that first one we looked at, where what was it, Coinbase? If we could get a move anything past 105.73, I'll chalk this red candle up to a retest, and then try to continue the bigger trend, which is a bullish breakout. So we'll see where this one wants to open, but some of the Chinese names are looking kind of similar. I'm going to be watching those a little bit closer today as well. And then anything past support, which is 105.51 on Baidu, I would be looking for probably like a pullback to like 103.98, and then eventually probably this 102.60. So interesting spot at least, and we'll see which direction some of those stocks want to go. We got SLV. SLV, good gap up. I'm not a huge gold, silver trader. This is why I don't celebrate Golden Week, I think. This is just because I don't trade it that much. They don't let me participate. I've tried. I submitted an application. But SLV, that is a good gap and go. Targets on this one will be about 28.83, I think. If you can get through that one, you're looking at $29. So not bad, but that resistance is going to be right there for you. We have SMG, Scott's Miracle-Gro. Ooh, man, they paid such a good divvy when it was down here. When it was down here, nobody liked it. How's the weed stocks been lately? Because some people were kind of throwing this as a weed stock category because they make fertilizer. That's where we got that big rampage up, and then it kind of came down with the rest of. Let's see Tilray real quick. Has that one been making a move? No, Tilray hasn't really been making a move, so just more direct to Scott's Miracle-Gro. Nice little breakout though. I don't know if I'm even for a swing trade. We're gonna be at a pretty key resistance. I got a we use that as some kind of support here, resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. I would have to see if I can get a pullback. Maybe it just breaks out and continues to run. There's not a lot of volume to hold us back, but some kind of a pullback to get into a swing would make some sense. Otherwise, nice 3 weeks we've had on this one. But for day trade, it is too high at resistance. Great momentum. I'm not going to play it to the short side. I'll wait for this one to pull back and then reassess. Google looked good. Yeah, that was on my list too. Google. Google had an interesting gap. I don't know if it's one of my favorite gaps. It was close. I was debating. It was a little bit high. So that's a good gap. Breaking out of a pivot. Support on this one should be 167.72. My problem with this one was the resistance 169.71. The next one up 170. The next one up 170.29. So I have 3 levels of resistance somewhere in that general area. I'm not sure if the risk to reward is great. And then it's also a retest gap technically. So I think if you're going to try to snake this one, the first spot you're looking for is 167.72. I wouldn't be shocked if this one pulls back a little bit further into 166.10. If we get that, I think it's a much better risk reward on this trade. Unless you're under the belief that this is just a weak kind of zone and you think you could break through it. I don't know. I don't know. Regardless, if I'm taking it somewhere in the zone, I have to be looking for that 1.2. I don't think I could look for 2 or 3 Rs. So I don't think I have that crazy range on it. But it is a really good gap though. So I had that one pretty high on the list. The other one I was looking at was Snow. Snow and I think Datadog. Datadog, I think I don't know the spread on Snow. It might be wide too, but Datadog I think is a little bit wider. But both Snow and Datadog looked decent today. We have this higher volume candle. We're above that. We have this candle. We're above at least the opening price. So pretty bullish. I think we can get a little pullback on Snow. Look for like a 115.09. I think that'd be your first point of interest from the bulls. Resistance again on this one, 116.06. If we could get through that, that would take us up to like 118.08. But it is a decently beat up stock. We are above the 20 EMA, so not bad on that. We look like we found some kind of support, nice little double bottom, little breakout, retest of that first breakout. So I'm kind of starting to watch this one bullish. And then if we could get past, I think 117.40, next little stop again, 117.31, where bears might want to try to hold us. But if we get through that, there's not a heck of a lot of volume, at least up to like 126, 127, and then the real spot could be like 135-ish. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on Snow for today. Datadog was very similar to where we had decent gap up. Again, the only problem I think with this one is the spread for day trades. But we're gapping above pretty good resistance. So anything above 117.25, again, it is a retest gap technically from yesterday, but those 2 candles are just inside this more or less bearish engulfing candle. We're at the high end of this. At this point, we're starting to break through. Targets, and this might be the story of the day, but targets, you got 118.79 would be my first target up. And if we could break through that, we have a pretty good trade up to this 120.86, 121 range. So I'm starting to look at those. We have CVS. Again, we had the news of activist investors, or call them what you want, but trying to step into CVS. That came out, I believe, a day or two ago. I think we're getting more follow up that they could be splitting the company. This one looks decent, nice little gap, still inside day, but it is getting. It was actually a little bit higher pre-market, came down a little bit. You do have that 200 sitting at 63.93. Otherwise, I think people probably looking to fill that gap, 67.17. So I'd have that on the list, whether for today or next couple days. SMCI pins I saw was good too. Yeah, pins I did see. Um, SMCI with their stock split 10-1. So now you get a deal. You could get a deal. How much of a deal? I don't know. Still we got the volume zones. We're at least that we're at the lower end, so Bulls are gonna try to save it somewhere around here. Upside on this one, maybe 45.77. Is that gonna be today? We know usually after companies do a stock split, people are like, yeah, we want to trade it now. But I don't know. I don't know. They still have that some glooming news hanging over their heads. Um, your real confirmation, I think, is if you could clear this candle, look for that breakout, 84.57. That would get you up to like 54. You're going to get better risk reward taking that chance, but higher risk. Uh, the fact we're above the VPOC from 2 days ago, so you have support 41.86, you got support 41.69. You could make a case that this is going to be a decent kind of risk to reward type setup, but you're going to be fighting all the bears from here, whether it holds or not. We'll throw it on the list. We'll see if we can make something happen on this one. I don't know if I want to force it, but you got that double bottom in there too. Maybe. Extended targets, I think. Yeah, get me out by like 44.69 as an extended target. Let's see. Pins. Pins had a good gap up too. Uh, Nothing really holding us back on pins, honestly, except for the fact that there was a lot of buying into this gap up. So anybody that was kind of playing this double bottom, you guys have been mentioning pins for a while. So if you guys are mentioning it, I'm sure there's a lot of eyeballs on it. So the question is, who actually took advantage of it? Who actually got into this one? We even looked at the trade. We planned this one out. We didn't take it, or I didn't take it at least. But good gap up. Maybe some buying into this gap causes a little bit of profit taking for today. You're kind of sitting at a little resistance, although above it, or above your your next one, I guess. So anything above 33.72, I would like to see hold. Next resistance 34. Bigger picture, though, I think you got the 100 and the 200. I think are going to be a little bit of resistance. We're kind of getting a little bit close to it at this point. Other than that, nice double bottom. Looks good. I would love to see. I would love to see a pullback on this one, and then maybe have a swing trade on it. GD, General Dynamics Corporation. Mm-mm-mm. I think it's just chilling for right now. That is a bearish gap and go, so maybe you are trapping some bulls on this one. Not a huge amount of volume. I think this volume is obviously more significant, and the fact that we stay underneath that would give me a little bit of a short edge. Looks to me like we have a little bit of a potential diagonal trend line that we might be opening into for today. Maybe slowly, yeah, maybe underneath it. We are at the 50 EMA, so that could hold us and it's inside day. I wouldn't go short out of the gate on this one, but I start to consider to look short. Maybe if you get that retest into like 299.32 as an attempt. Trend overall has been fairly bullish, so you're going against the grain kind of on that one, but yeah, stay under that candle and the short's probably feeling pretty good. Yeah, we got PMI and Jolt numbers coming out today too. Apple actually, yeah, so there is the port strike potential, all that stuff. I don't know, that will affect Apple, I think. But they actually had a downgrade today as well, so they're saying maybe people aren't as interested in the iPhone 16 as they once thought, and demand is a little bit slower. So I think they had a little bit of a potential downgrade today. Is this the end of Apple? Definitively, yes. Apple is done. That's why Google's rallying. No, I don't know. But it is a gap and go, so you'd want to lean a little bit more bearish. I don't know if I'm going to go short on this one. You got your first support right here, 228.90. And then I think you got 227.86. It's still Apple. They still make like $78 billion a quarter. So maybe more. Are they more than that? I don't know. But I think they'll be fine. You just got some demand. The company I think would get affected the most by the port strike is probably Amazon. I think is my first place winner of doomsday from port strikes. If it happens, they're still talking. They're still trying to figure it out. But I think Amazon will probably get affected the most. I think everybody kind of gets affected by it, but Amazon, I think, would be one of the main leaders of impacts from that. So we'll see. We'll see. Zim, ZIM. Know nothing about it. They're a shipping company. Yep, they're another one directly in line of an effect from port news. So they're an Israeli shipping company. A lot of people like them for the divvies, which I think they kind of cut back a little bit, but it's more related to their revenue than anything. Obviously, if we have any type of shipping or port strike, then Zim's going to get affected. You do have your first support on this one, 2360. There's only talks happening right now on the port strike, so I wouldn't build my entire case around it. Who knows what ends up happening? I think the White House was talking. I don't think the presidency is looking to do much to get involved. I think they're looking to kick it off to the Senate to get involved, and we'll see how it plays out. But I think that would be a developing story, one to watch. But I don't think there's any updates quite yet. But if anything gets passed and the strike happens, Zim, I think, would definitely be line of fire, line of fire of that one. Yep. Big support though, 2361. Oh no, that's the morning bell. That's the morning bell. So everybody on YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Be safe today. Be safe. It's the first day of the month. It's just the first day of the month. But that doesn't mean you can't hit that like and subscribe button. You guys are awesome. I'll catch you guys all tomorrow.